Cooking is this?
Well, we have your water up here.
Opposite of an Oreo.
Oh. Well, we'll see how good it is. Yeah. You can still do TV. I don't know how many people saw the David Letterman show last month, but you came on and did a routine which was about 6 or 7 minutes, and the entire routine was you telling a story about going to the bathroom backstage, walking down the hallway and holding onto the rail, which was shorter than the hallway, and I did a brilliant bit. You don't remember?
You're nervous, aren't you?
No, well,
no. The routine had to do with going down the steps. I was going to the bathroom, and the railing. It was in the Ed Sullivan Theater, which is old, and the railing ended, but there's 2 more steps. And for me, the end of the railing means next step, floor. And I fell. And no, I didn't, but I just went on and did the routine about it, because old people, when they fall, we don't bounce. We sort of flap. Like, you know, a fish. When you fish, you pull the fish up and it's in the bottom of the boat doing, that's what old people look like. And you're very, very arrogant. You don't want anybody to help you up or touch you or hand you back your teeth or your hand. So anyway, it was a wonderful, wonderful routine. I'd like everyone to understand the significance of one Herb Schlosser. I, as I told Mr. Schwartz, want you all to understand that whatever happened that we are talking about is not to be considered a done deal. Many people take things like, well, you did this, then you did that, yes I did, then you went on, then this happened, and then now look at you. No. In those days, Martin Luther King, did you get your history on that?
I think so. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Dr. King, this is before I Spy. Dr. King.
I don't know where you, okay, you tell me where you're going with
No,
this.
well, I gave you a big pitch.
Yeah.
Dr. King,
Okay.
civil rights.
Right.
The South.
63 was,
Before 63.
okay.
In the 50s, there's all of this, and the New York Times as well as any, and there were no black people then. They were colored. They were colored, they were Negroes, and then you people, they were called. You people. What do you people want? And so, when Nat King Cole went on in 1957, was it? 57. Nat King Cole went on. There's one of them on TV.
Right.
So the sponsors all ran. There's a history there. You can Wikipedia and do that. But the threat from people saying, I will not put this on, I will not put a sponsor on, because of this colored Negro. And there were certain things we were all right. Johnny Carson, we were all right. So maybe Ed Sullivan or something.
You could perform, you could do comedy.
Yes, and sing.
Right.
Nothing wrong with this. But when it came to a series of something, no.
Right.
It's not happening. So here's NBC, here's this Jewish fella by the name of Schlosser, who's in charge. It's only 3 of them, and they're competing tight. Sheldon Leonard comes to Herb Schlosser and says, well, there's 2 Jews to each other, so I don't know how difficult it is, you know. So Sheldon's a producer. He's already done, what were the shows?
Dick Van Dyke.
You have a mic, Herb?
I'm an old TV guy.
Yeah.
Yes. He did the Dick Van Dyke Show. He did Danny Thomas. He did about 3 or 4
He,
episodes.
Mayberry with
He
Andy.
did do that. Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
He had a
So
great-
Sheldon was wealthy.
yeah.
And everything was in black and white. All the shows were in black and white. They were all in black and white.
Right.
So then he came to you. I'll tell this part. So he comes to Herb Schlosser. This is the story I got from Sheldon, and he concurred. So Sheldon says, I want to put a TV series on, and you'll give me the money for it. And what we're going to do is about 2 guys, and he says, so, but we got a problem. The 2 guys go all over the world. We film that, then we bring it back, then we shoot stuff in the studio, and it's a spy. The guy's a tennis player, and his coach is a spy also. So Schlosser said to him, well, that sounds great. So what's the problem? So Sheldon said, well, the guy who was the trainer for the tennis player is a Negro. So Herb said, so what's the problem? See, that's the beauty. You know, he could have sat here across from some guy who's saying what I think many of us in Hollywood of color have heard is, well, can't we get a white guy to play? It's much easier and more palatable.
Yeah.
The public can digest it. Even Negroes can digest it. I mean, it won't mean anything to them. They haven't lost anything. That kind of thing. So when it happened, Schlosser said, okay. Sheldon Leonard called me and said, we're going to go. I was less than 2 years out of Temple University. Going to be a school teacher, but I had scored big on the Tonight Show in New York with Johnny Carson. And Sheldon never asked me if I could act.
Right, he'd only seen you do the
Right.
Yeah.
He said, would you? I said, yes. No, he didn't ask me if I could act. He said, would you? I said, of course. I'm from the projects, man. You know, from the projects, the guys from the projects that see me on TV, shucks, man. I don't care if they cancel it next week. I can have a suite in the Richard Allen Project for the rest of my life, man. Listen to you. That's God, man, for Richard Allen. He was on I Spy, man, for about a minute.
You did win an Emmy your first season. You got an Emmy for...
Why are we going that fast?
I just want to point out...
See, you went just like that. Done deal. You have no idea.
So let's
I won an Emmy, but Mr. Schwartz, let me tell you something. You came to the reading, didn't you? Put the mic up to your face. You came to the reading, the first reading for the show. You sat there, and I want to, because I'm going to say it if you don't. And Bob read, right? Herb, Robert Koch read, and then I read, and Bob read, and then we went through the script, and then you guys went down the hallway to have a meeting about how god-awful I was.
That I don't remember. You're our guest star tonight. I don't remember that you thought you were awful.
Right. Even I knew I was bad.